Julie here, your makeup artist for mature or young skin. And I'm going to show you your tutorial on how to apply your new Seint makeup. And I'm going to show you based upon what I usually do, but I'm going to share a few adaptations because I realize that for you watching today, maybe you just started with a palette with a few colors. Maybe you started with more. I recently upgraded, but for most of my clients, I start them with a palette of 8. And so I want you to watch and then just follow along with me. You may need to stop this and then apply your makeup because there's a little bit of a learning curve with Seint. Okay, so you may have started with 2 brushes. I start most women with the 3D brush. And for those who want a little bit more brush application, you may have the detail brush. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to correct any spots in our face. And so for you, you may have dark circles under your eyes like me. Maybe you've got some sun damage. I've got sun damage in a few places on my face. You might have redness. You might have little broken capillaries in your face. But for any of those places on your face that you want to correct, then you're going to take either the pointy end of the 3D brush, or if you got the detail brush, you might like to use this end because it's a little bit smaller. And you're going to take the product I call the color corrector, and you're going to put your brush into the product and then just lightly press or pat on any of those areas. Don't blend it in. You're just kind of swiping any spots that need correcting, okay? So that's the thing to remember. My face is going to look different than yours. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this dense end of the 3D brush, you're going to swipe it in your main color, the color I've designated for you as your main color. And then you're going to swipe that on some of the other blank canvas areas of your face. So for me, it's up on my forehead. I'm going to put a spot on my cheek and my nose. Feel free to reload the brush. The tendency when you first get started is to load a little too heavy. Okay, that's it. I'm going to put a little bit on my lids too. Serves as sort of a eyeshadow primer. Now, you may want, maybe that's where you're starting. For most of you, I've added a contour. If I've added a contour, you can either use your finger and you can swipe it like this, or you can use the flat end of your detail brush, or you can use the pointy end again of your 3D brush. Totally up to you. I like to use this one. So I'm going to reload the product, put it right along, right under my cheekbone. I'm going to put a little bit here on my jawline. If you don't have a definition, if your jaw, if your neck and your chin area all kind of folds into one, then you probably don't want to do this. And I would have told you that when I gave you a tutorial. And then one swipe up here. Now, you can do more with contouring. If you're starting with the basics, this is where you're going to start. Another place you could add contour if you have a really wide nose is right along the bridge of your nose. You could put it right here. Okay, some people like to put a dab under their lip. I don't usually do that. All right, then you can blend. Unless you have some spots that you really want to brighten. Now, I've got a couple spots that I like to brighten. I just like to brighten right here. Sometimes I put a little dab right in the corner of my eyes because I have a lot of darkness there. And then I put a little bit of brightener up here on the sides of my eyes. Again, I would have told you, and in your palette, you would have gotten a brightener. Many of my clients just want to start with the three main highlight, two highlight colors, correcting, main color, and then contour. All right, now we start blending away. This is where you might get confused. And seriously, ladies, you stipple, okay? You pat the color in. I usually work from the top down, and I work around my eyes. Be gentle around your eyes, okay? Be gentle. You can always use a sponge, a blender sponge, to blend better around your eyes. Okay? You notice how it starts to come together. And I'm leaving the contour for last. I'm leaving the contour for last. Sometimes when you start this, you're like, oh, it looks way too yellow, way too yellow. And that's the color correcting, especially if you've got redness or grayness. Okay, so now notice I'm going back, doing my forehead. I'm getting that contour. Make sure you get under your chin. How'd I do? Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, most clients have a tendency to do it a little too heavy to start with. And so if you do, remember the beauty of a blending sponge. Now, this is Seint's and it's re-washable. It's really, really nice. The pointy end of this is so great, but I just press to get it a little more blended, okay? Then I'm going to go back into my contour. If you're doing your eyebrows, I love an angled brush. I have an old angled brush that I've had for years. And in little chicken scratches, I'm going to fill in my brows. Ladies, especially as you get older, you start to lose your brow color. So fill in your brows and okay, that lovely? It's looking good. All right, then we're gonna take one of our lip and cheek colors. Maybe you got one, maybe you got two. Sometimes I blend them. The beauty about this cream blush, just use your fingertips. Just blend it in. Okay, there's that. And then I'm gonna add that same color to my lips, okay? And again, maybe you got lip and cheek, maybe you didn't. Maybe you got lip and cheek and you only wanna use it on your cheeks because you like something darker on your lips. I like tube lipstick, I just do. I like to line my lips and then do that. So, all right, let's add just a couple more things. That may be what you started with, okay? And if so, awesome. Let's put on a little bit of eyeshadow. If you started with eyeshadow, these are so pigmented. They're so highly pigmented. Okay, so that's a good basic look. A light color all over. I often recommend a little bit of another color for accent. Okay, blend, blend, blend. I already had mascara on. I'm gonna add just a little bit of color down here also for liner. You can use a pencil, you can use shadow for that. Okay, and then my final step is illuminator. And I usually recommend illuminator for almost everybody. Use your pointer finger, a little bit on the high points of your cheeks, here on your nose, right here. Okay, do I need anything else? A little more lip, a little more lip. Okay, a few tips, ladies. Make sure you wash your brushes at least once every 2 weeks, once a week, even better. When it starts not applying very good, you know it's time to clean your brushes. We have a great brush cleaner. You just spritz it on the ends to clean your brush. Remember, when you're in a major big hurry, you can always just use your finger to dot the product. You don't have to use all the brushes. I happen to love the brushes, and I think you get a better blend. But again, you can use your fingers, okay? And you, yeah, you can decide which brushes that you like. These are my two, use them every day. I often use the big bronzer powder brush as well to sometimes blend out my cheeks. But anyway, hopefully that helps. If you have questions, please reach out to me. That is your basic tutorial for your brand new Seint makeup. I'm ready to head out for the day, and I hope you are too.